This is my custom mechanical keyboard, and here's how it went. Also, before I start, please like and subscribe for tech and games, it really helps. Once upon a time, I was just typing along on my pre-built Cooler Master CK550 when my friends had been talking about keyboards. Now, I had no experience with custom keyboards, so I literally knew nothing more about switches than the fact that there existed Cherry MX and Gatorons. Now, I was in dire need of a new board. My Cooler Master had blue switches, which literally meant that the switches clicked, and living in an environment with several people, you can imagine that it wasn't very great for anyone else. Not great for me either, I'm deaf now. Here's the board. It's actually really nice. It actually costed me about $350, so I'd expect it not be bad. But I had to do a lot of research to get here. Let's talk about the board itself. It's a glorious GMMK Pro white ice, gasket-mounted hot swap keyboard with a rotary encoder. Now, I really love the Glorious company, so when they released an enthusiast keyboard, I immediately bought it the first minute it was out. But the board doesn't actually come with keycaps or switches. It was a completely empty, bare-bones board with an aluminum plate. Let's start off with the switches. I wanted to get some either tactiles or linear switches, as cookies literally destroyed my ears, and nobody should like them anyway. After not much research, I found out that some of the most expensive switches on the market were Telios. I thought they were really cool, but my friends quickly jumped in and told me Telios were shit, so I thought I'd get Novelty's creams instead. But people said they were insanely scratchy, so I debated on whether to get Glorious Pandas, Gatoron Ink Blacks, or Gatoron Yellows. But in the end, I discovered the Akko CS Rose Red switches, which are insanely cheap, but also decently sounding switches that I thought would fit my budget. They only cost $28 per 90 switches, and they were lubed with Krytox 205G0 by my friend Stygian. He's done some Bed Wars videos with me in the past. You actually can't film them due to how tight the housing is, which is a negative for this switch. Next up, keycaps. I stumbled upon a site called drop.com which sold various keyboard parts, and there I found the keycap set of my dreams. The amazing NAS-themed GMK Godspeed SA keycap set was insane, both in looks and price, and it was $200. There was no way I was going to spend $200 on plastic, even if they were GMK keycaps, so I opted for a more budget approach, Amazon.com, and I found these Japanese milk and honey keycaps, and they seemed pretty nice. They were very cheap, $35 compared to the GMKs, so I bought them. And after I started using them, I came across a site called KBD Fans, and the keycaps that I finally ended up buying. The SA PBG Violet Dye Sub keycaps cost $58, but actually the price was hiked up a giant chunk due to $20 shipping charges from China. Let's talk stabilizers. The GMMK Pro comes with pre-lubed stabilizers. They're kind of shit. In fact, they're really bad. I'd be all for Glorious removing the stabilizers in exchange for a couple of dollars cheaper on the price. And I got my hands on a pack of Duroc V2s, which are some of the best stabilizers out there. And then I realized I couldn't fit them into the board. This brings me to the plate. Because I had an aluminum plate, my stabilizers couldn't actually fit into the board. The only solution was to buy a polycarbonate board, which I had forgotten to buy at checkout for the GMMK Pro, but I just had to pay for shipping once more. The other downside for the polycarbonate plate is that the switches kept popping out. That's a small issue, but not really one that bothers me. The polycarbonate plate delivers a more thocky feel for the switches as they strike. Plastic on plastic is just a softer typing experience than plastic on metal. The board also has that clickable rotary encoder which defaults to volume control, and although you can program that button, I'll keep it at volume because it's super convenient. Here's what the board looks like once it's fully assembled. And now, it's time for the sound test. Here goes. So now I have like no money, but I do have this crazy nice keyboard. And although the GMMK Pro has supposed latency issues, I think it's really not noticeable, and the rest of the board compensates enough to make it a very, very nice entry-level custom keyboard. Thanks for watching my review of the GMMK Pro as well as several other products mentioned in this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't hesitate to like and subscribe.